And today we're tying up kind of like a little rainbow pattern type jig right here. And I've never used this type of hair. This is called Furry Valley Crafting Fur. Right here it is. And you get a bootload, a variety of different colors in a nice storage bag. It comes with it. And you can see all of it's got the black stripes to it, and it's got some super long fibers on it. And it's ideal for tying like flies, you know, bass bugs, and as well as jigs like this right here. And we paint our own jig heads. Got a link down in the description if you want to check that out, how we paint them, and also a playlist on our other jigs. So let's get ready to tie up the little rainbow trout pattern. Okay, guys, let's get this little rainbow trout pattern jig tied up. I paint my own jig heads with fingernail polish. LA colors. I got some olive in it, some pink and white. Then I went over it with a little clear crush flake. I got a link down in the description if you want to check out how I paint my jig heads. Then I hit it with some UV resin. So, what we're going to be using today, we're going to be using a couple of small hackle feathers just for a kicker on the tail. And then we're going to be using a new hair that we got in, if I can find it here. And you get a ton of this in a variety of different colors, and it's just great hair to work with. I've already tied up some crappie jigs and stuff with it. You can just see how long that fiber is right there, and it's got the black and the pink in it. Just a nice soft hair to work with, whether you're tying flies, bass bugs, even jigs like this right here. So we're going to start out with using a red A in thread here. Now all this stuff that I'm using, hopefully I can find where I got it from, and I can just link it right down in the description for you if you want to pick some up for yourself. And we're going to run this thread right back to where the bend of the hook starts. And then we're going to come up back about a quarter of the way. Go ahead and get the tag clipped here. And then the first thing we're going to add is we're going to add our hackle feathers. I've already got them cut. And then we're going to lay it right on top of the shank of that hook. And we're going to give him a couple of tight wraps while we're pushing down to lock him into place. This is just going to be like give it some tail action when I'm out there just swimming this jig in below Wolf Creek Dam. Nice big trout below that dam down there, and we're heading down there next weekend. So there we go. Got that one locked in. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to add another one right on the other side of him. Pushing down, holding it down on top of that shank real tight where he won't spin on me. Give him a few tight wraps, see where we're at. That's looking good. And now I'm just going to go ahead and run right up that shank of that hook, locking all of that stem in. And then back once, and then right back up toward the back of that jig head right there. Okay, next thing we're going to be adding is some of this olive kind of type look for the back of that rainbow trout pattern. And you can see it's got some brown in it and got those black stripes across it. And it's not going to take very much of this at all. For the back, this is a small top jig that we're tying. And I'm just going to pinch him up here, and you can just see how long that synthetic hair is right there. We're just going to let that hang right out of the back right there. Longer fibers right here to reach back. That's going to give it a nice action in the water. I want the thicker part of the fur to go back right to where that hackle feather V's off. So we're going to lay it right on top of this shank of this hook. We're going to give him a couple nice tight wraps right here. And then we're just going to spin him around. There we go. That looks good. Next that we're going to be adding is some of the pink. And that is going to go right across the top of the shank of the hook. And we're just going to get us another little pinch just like this right here. There we go. We just want a small pinch of that pink going to lay it right on top of this shank of this hook right here. And again, we're going to give him a couple of tight wraps, locking him in. That's looking good right there. On the crafting fur right here, we're going to go with us a white right here. So that's going to be the belly part of it. And again, we don't need a whole lot of it. We're just going to get us a small pinch. And we're just going to measure him out right here. That looks pretty good. There we go. That's what we're looking for right there. We're going to lay this right on top of that pink. This is going to be the belly part of our rainbow trout. We'll give him a couple of nice tight wraps, locking him in there. See where we're at with him. That's looking good. And then I'm just going to build this collar up a little bit. Okay. Last but not least, what we're going to be adding to it is just a few small strands of some crystal flash. This is like a white aqua type, and we're just going to put about 4 strands on this tie right here. There we go. This is what we're looking for right here, and we want to make sure all of it's even on this one side. I'm just going to lay my jig over to the side a little piece. And I want this to go right back to where that hair ends. Lay it on the side of that collar. Give him a couple of wraps there. And then we're just going to flip him over. We're going to bring this right across the back of that collar over to the other side. And give him a couple more wraps there. Then we're going to cut this excess off, kind of eyeball it. And I got right on the side of my thread there. Last but not least, all we got to do is just go ahead and build this collar up right here. Now we're getting ready to whip finish it, and I usually do 5 plus 5 in. There we go. Lock him into place. And then last but not least, we're going to add our UV resin to it. All around that collar, right up against, bump right up against that jig head. It'll give it a nice shiny look. Plus, this collar's not going to go anywhere with the UV light. Plus, I'm going to take this outside as well and let it finish curing in the sun. Well guys, there you go. Just a nice little rainbow type pattern jig that I'm going to be throwing down there on the Cumberland River. If you liked the video, I hope you give us a thumbs up, guys. Subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed. We're growing each and every day. Follow us over on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to check the playlist out down below on our other jig ties, as well as how we paint our jig heads. Until next time, stay safe out there on the water, and we'll see you right here at Hills and Gills.